Okay guys, today we're going to go through in more detail what we mean by square root and cube root. Let's understand by first understanding what is a square root. When we have a number under the square root sign, we are basically saying the square root is asking us what number multiplies itself to get the number under the square root sign. What number multiplies itself to get the number under the square root sign. Let's see some examples and you'll get a better understanding. The square root sign, as you can see, you're going to be using it throughout high school. It has the number 16 under it, meaning what number multiplies itself to make 16? You know your times tables, you won't have a problem. What do you think it is? It is 4. 4 times 4 is 16. So the square root of 16 is simply 4. The square root of 36. What number multiplies itself to get 36? And we should know it is 6. 6 times 6 makes 36. The square root of 64. What number multiplies itself to get 64? 8. 8 times 8 is 64. The square root of 121. What number multiplies itself to get 121? And we should know it is 11. 11 times 11 is 121. The square root of 25. What number times itself to get 25? And it should be easy. Our answer is 5. 5 times 5 is 25. Therefore, the square root of 25 is 5. And lastly, the square root of 169. The square root of 169, 13 times 13 is 169. Now, of course, you're known to know 1 to 12 times tables, but it's always better to know your 12s, your 13s, and so on. The more you know, the better and the faster you'll become. So the square root of a number means what number times itself to get the number under the square root sign. The square root of 121 is 11. The square root of 25 is 5, and so on. Now let's move on to another concept, which we call the cube root of a number. Now the cube root, the only difference, it has a 3 on top. So whenever you see a 3, you know straight away, I'm looking for the cube root. Now what does a cube root mean? It means what number multiplies itself 3 times. What number multiplies itself 3 times to make, in this case here, 27. So the cube root of 27 is 3. 3 times 3 times 3. 3 times 3 times 3 is 27. So our cube root of 27 is 3. 3 times 3 is 9. 9 times 3 is 27. The cube root of 8. What number multiplies itself 3 times to get 8? What do you think? 2 times 2 times 2. So the cube root of 8 is 2. 2 times 2 is 4. 4 times 2 is 8. The cube root of 1,000. Wow, large number, but not to worry. If you know your times tables, you won't have a problem. What number multiplies itself 3 times to make 1,000? 10. 10 times 10 is 100, times another 10 is 1,000, so the cube root of 1,000 is 10. 10 times 10 times 10. The cube root of 125, the more examples we do, the better you understand the concept. The cube root of 125 is 5. 5 times 5 is 25. 25 times 5 is 125. Therefore, the cube root of 125 is 5. The cube root of 64. Now, we've done several examples. See if you can do this one yourself. Think, what number multiplies itself 3 times to make 64? What do you think it is? It is 4. 4 times 4 is 16. 16 times another 4 is 64. Therefore, our cube root of 64 is 4. 4 times 4 is 16. 16 times 4 is 64. And last one, the cube root of 216. 216, what number multiplies itself 3 times to make 216? And if you know your times tables, it is 6. 6 times 6 is 36. 36 times 6 is 216. Therefore, the cube root of 216 is 6. So as you can see, we have what we call the square root, a number that times itself to make the square root sign. We have cube root, a number times itself 3 times to get the number and the square root sign. And we've done several examples, and always I say to students, if you need to improve with this, improve your times tables. Very important. I always stress on it because it is critical. You're going to see with even more complex questions later on, the timetables are so crucial for us to know these answers.